The following podcast is scheduled for one fall. From the heart of Broadway in historic downtown Cape Girardeau, this is Pro Wrestling Unscripted.
It's the day before Valentine's Day, and we've got a special treat for all you lovers out there in wrestling world. It's Pro Wrestling Unscripted Valentine's Day edition here on Podzilla 1985.
We should sing Dalton's favorite song.
We should.
What song is that?
What did I do?
Just randomly throughout the episode, just
No,
scattered it
don't.
in. Yeah.
Would you say it's a good love?
It's the
It's
greatest.
The greatest.
Oh my God.
The greatest love I've ever known.
All right, that's the free one. To get the rest of it, WWE, don't sue. It's it's Pro Wrestling Unscripted. What's up? Shannon Young here, Mr. 100, although I'm thinking of changing it to Father 100 or Pappy 100.
Pappy.
And we're going to talk about some wrestling here tonight down at the end of the table. By the way, I'm under the weather, so if my voice sounds a little weird, that's why. And if my voice goes out through the show, that is why. Asa Gray, the 5-star man, is here with us tonight.
All five.
Ali Bear is here with us tonight.
Dalton looks so destroyed, and it's great.
Oh, and it's only just begun, baby.
Yeah. And to my left, of course, lonely squid fuck Dalton Anthony.
What?
Wow! That didn't take long.
Yo.
Who got himself a beautiful white woman recently.
That's Lamont.
Oh, my bad.
Lamont.
Jesus
I said-
Christ.
That legitimately almost made me cry.
Oh, no, I was crying.
So
Like-
if you missed CCW Live, Lamont from the LA Hustlers is the MVP.
I feel like
he broke the show.
I feel like we have enough people who may not know, or if you're listening for the first time, Allie and myself do a show on Facebook on the Cape Championship Wrestling Facebook page every Wednesday before we record this, CCW Live.
Right.
And one of the wrestlers from the LA Hustlers, Lamont, said that no man can be called handsome, because I called Hollis
No
handsome,
grown
and
man.
I stand by that statement. Hollis is a handsome man.
He is.
But yeah, he's like no grown man can be handsome, which doesn't make
I
any
don't
sense.
get.
And his response to me asking if maybe he was just mad that I didn't call him handsome was that he has himself a white woman and she calls him rough shot. Ask him about that. And no one should ask him about that.
Please don't.
All right,
PG
I'm going to
show.
need someone to ask her why she calls him rough. Whoa.
Maybe if she's on Saturday, just be like, all right, he told us to ask.
Hey, are you?
But you have to do it in front of.
Are you his white woman?
Are you Lamont's white woman? Why did he call him rough shot?
So he comes out of nowhere with that in the chat of the show, and
All
I
right,
about
so-
fell out of my chair.
So for all of you CCW fans that are listening, one, you shouldn't be listening because this show is Bizarro World where Dalton and I are friends. At the show on
Oh, yeah,
Saturday,
we're such good friends. What was my name?
Lonely Squid Fuck, I think. On Saturday next week, we're going to need you to chant, "You are handsome,"
Yeah.
at Lamont.
Yeah.
as the most confusing.
Just as he comes out, just like, "You are handsome."
I need Caleb to make a sign.
Yeah.
But I know he won't be in the crowd, so he needs to make that sign and just give it to someone in the front row.
I don't know.
Give it to Sadie.
Give it to Ethan Smith. He loves signs. He may be listening to the show. But yeah, we're gonna need you to make that. We need to let know. We might start that initiative. That let Lamont know he's handsome initiative. We're gonna start that tonight.
Hashtag handsome Lamont.
Give Lamont a chance. All right. Well, we're gonna talk about wrestling now. And the top story coming out of today has to be, of course, that they announced Mario Maker 2 for the Nintendo Switch.
Oh,
and
they did.
I couldn't be more excited.
Oh, I'm so excited to break my Switch.
Yes.
Because
Lovingly.
who decided to we're going to make an infuriating Mario game on this little handheld?
You're gonna have to buy
Well, I guess
that
they did it on the
D-pad.
Wii U too, but
Yeah, but this now finally we get a Mario Maker that people will play.
yeah, because it's on a console people own.
Yeah, a lot of people, because that Nintendo Direct was fire today. It was so hot.
It had its moments.
It was too hot to try. You didn't think it was the
I
greatest
let
thing you've ever
myself.
seen?
It wasn't the greatest.
You were waiting for the greatest.
Greatest love I've ever known.
I feel like that's all I'm gonna say this show.
I almost feel like
Man, I
tonight,
missed it more when you were quiet.
the secret word of today is greatest.
Greatest.
Every time we say it on the show, we're gonna bust out into it. So,
No, I
what was the
think
name of that Royal Rumble last year in Saudi?
Saudi Blood Money.
Make a song out of that, motherfucker.
Saudi. Oh shit!
Yeah.
Taking away women's rights.
And journalist heads.
Fuck!
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that too far? I'm not the one that murdered a journalist after saying he was going to fix it with bullets. The other show.
I mean, he
hey,
fixed
May
it.
10th, everybody. The Nintendo Direct, and we have to get about wrestling because there's a lot to talk about this week.
Yeah.
I let my expectations get too high. I was kind of hoping we would get some Smash. We would get like Joker gameplay.
Yeah. Maybe
or
other character announcements.
possibly. I also would have bet money that we would have gotten something for Pokemon.
Yeah.
And we didn't, so
Animal
that was
Crossing.
a bummer. And also, just like the big reveals, just weren't really aimed at me because, like, I'm not a fan of Fire Emblem.
It still looks pretty cool though.
This will lose me some friends right here. Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening is the first Zelda game that I ever beat, and it's also part of the reason I don't like Zelda games
Really?
because it is like it's a game about exploration. But if you don't do things in the exact order you have to,
You can't explore.
you can't explore.
Yeah.
And I don't. That's
Whereas Breath of the Wild really, I think, has ruined Zelda for a lot of people
Right.
because it's so open.
If they would have put like the music from every other Zelda game into Breath of the Wild, it would have been the best Zelda game.
It's still the best Zelda game.
It might be.
But I'm excited. But it's so cute though.
It is.
Little
It
toy
is
figures,
very
yeah.
cute.
Oh, all of it. Nintendo, you're doing a great job.
If
Here's
you want more thoughts, Nerd Up on Sunday.
I heard it was the best Nerd Up in a long time. I haven't listened to it yet, but I have legitimately heard from multiple sources that it was a great show. So I really need to check that out.
It was
It
fantastic.
was just you and Asa?
Yes, it
You're
was.
Asa.
You
It, uh,
wasn't
yeah,
doing
it was just me and Jesse.
Yeah, Lindsay was going to go, but then,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Ain't nobody mad.
Nintendo, if I had one request from you, and Dalton will back me up on this, if you can port Fire Pro to Switch,
Word.
it will be a must-have purchase.
Okay, and that's another thing too.
Don't ever touch the
Assassin's
2K series again.
Assassin's Creed 3 remastered, and it looks worse than the original version.
Running on a worse frame rate, too. I'm hoping that's maybe a beta or something.
But you don't put that in a direct.
You really don't. Not if you're smart.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get to wrestling. We're done talking about Nintendo and stuff until we have reason to talk about it. Very sad news today coming out of the wrestling world. Pedro Morales has passed away. Pedro Morales is one of the all-time greats. And is he a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer.
Okay, I thought so, but I didn't want to run my mouth.
No, he is. Because I double-checked it when we were looking, when I was gathering things and I saw that story.
Like
Because that was one of those things where it's like I immediately went to it as like, oh wait, did they put him in? Because there was another name that now I'm blanking on that I couldn't remember if was in or not. But
yeah, and when I think of Pedro Morales, like immediately it's like definitely in the Hall of Fame. But again, there are some people who aren't in the Hall of Fame yet that absolutely deserve to be.
Right.
So I wanted to make sure I got
He,
that right.
especially 'cause he was-
76,
yeah,
which was the same age as a couple of those celebrities that died in January. They were all 76. Remember, I made the Fallout 76 joke. I'm like, oh, Fallout 76, they all passed away. And now Pedro Morales is dead at 76. And I know this is not I want to believe, but that's weird.
I
Weird.
mean, it's an older age.
40 more years. I got 40 years to go.
He one of the he had that incredible Worldwide Wrestling Federation Championship run. Was it the WWF that he had?
I think so.
I think so, but like he's kind of overshadowed by Bruno Sammartino's run. But he also apparently was like, they were too scared at how violent his fans were getting because they would riot when he lost matches because he was like huge in the Puerto Rican market.
Right.
And like people were legit. There are stories of like riots in Boston whenever he was losing. This is one Dalton might know. Who got stabbed? He a fan jumped the rail and like stabbed the person he was wrestling and had to get like 100 stitches.
Pat
Jesus.
Patterson.
No, it wasn't Patterson.
Blassie.
I want to say it was Blackjack Mulligan.
I mean, you know how many people have been stabbed?
Well,
in
yeah,
wrestling?
but like, I'm gonna opponent stabbed.
Okay, all right, that might
You
be.
know,
I'm
it's
gonna-
a big story when even FoxNews.com has posted about it.
Yeah. Oh no, he was a.
Well, never mind. Get back with myself.
This is a legit. It's a big loss in the wrestling community.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was the WWF days. Someone on Reddit, Bob Backlund and Billy Graham are pretty much the only links left to that. And then there's a lot of trashing Billy Graham.
You mean
Superstar.
earlier,
Oh, he was the first Triple Crown champion.
the beta version of Hulk Hogan? Beta Jesse Ventura? I don't like Billy Graham. I also don't dislike Billy Graham. I really got nothing against him. He was definitely colorful. We'll say that. But Pedro Morales, all time great. Passed away today. We don't know what he passed away from. I just saw that he died at 76.
He passed away a couple days ago.
So
A
Blackjack.
couple days ago, he passed away.
I found this story here in an article about fan attacks by Mike Mooneyham. In 1971, Blackjack Mulligan was stabbed during a match with Pedro Morales at the Boston Garden. Mulligan, who would later become one of the legendary figures of Mid-Atlantic Wrestling, was sliced by a knife-wielding spectator who hopped the guardrail to get a crack at the 6'8", 325-pounder.
But he brought a knife.
Mulligan,
He was smart enough to bring a knife.
Mulligan was stabbed in the thigh, was carried from the ring, and had to receive 100 stitches at an area hospital.
Oh,
Jesus.
God.
Dear
Did you say
Lord. Shout out to
100 stitches?
Stop.
So when I started wearing the last show, CCW, I started wearing the rosaries. And one of my favorite things that Dalton, my good friend, has ever told me was that he looked at me with all the rosaries on. He said, "You're going to get stabbed." And I thought to myself, God, if only.
It's because there's been so many stabbings.
God, if only. You know what a legend I'd be?
Bring-
Did you hear fucking Shannon got stabbed at the last show?
People hate him so much.
Yeah, people hate him so much.
Well,
All he was talking
Have you
about was,
ever been stabbed?
It's remember the
I've done a little bit of stabbing.
he's dabbled in it.
Not the same.
He's stabbled in it.
Shut up.
Wait, hold on. No, back it up. Have you been stabbed?
No.
The way you're asking me is like you're offended because you've crossed that line, and I'm talking about it from the couch.
It's the
No one's
thing
been
of
stabbed.
remember when the old lady like grabbed CM Punk and told him that he was the devil,
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or the fan at Takeover.
You're the devil, Ciampa.
Devil Champa.
You're the devil. God, that guy
I think
deserves.
my personal favorite is I hate you, Batista.
I hate you too. I'm from
Anyway.
Winnipeg, you idiot.
Anyway, very, very sad about Pedro Morales. I know we're joking. You have to keep a sense of humor, or else you're all dead.
And this one, like, and not to be like morbid, but like he lived a good long
76
life.
years
76
old.
years is
Yeah.
good. This isn't as heartbreaking as a someone taken in their prime.
And
But,
this-
I mean,
this
it's always sad when someone dies.
Yeah, this isn't someone like
And he-
took his own life, or
Right.
I was just reading about Mr. Perfect the other day. Someone had posted, I think it was Chris Jones maybe, posted a video about Mr. Perfect, and I was watching it, and I started reading about him, and then I forgot he died at 44.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was so young, and he had died from acute cocaine intoxication, and it's just like, oh man, what a fucking shame,
Yeah.
like.
No, and
That's
it's
so sad.
And and Pedro Morales was absolutely a legend. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Like he
Yeah.
deserves the spot he has. First ever Triple Crown champion.
Yeah.
So
our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone, all the fans who loves Pedro Morales. We do have good news this week, and that is coming out. A lot of news coming out from AEW.
so much news out of AEW.
All Elite Wrestling Double or Nothing sells out in 4 minutes. Now that is for the general ticket sales, right? Because I had read somewhere that some ticket sales had sold out in 25 minutes, and I can't remember which one that was.
I think they were calling it 4 minutes because that's when the message of people like getting turned away happened. But people apparently like this they are 2 for 2 in really bad fan experiences in buying tickets.
Yeah.
Because people were apparently like left in that waiting queue where they will be like, okay, so now it's your turn, but you're still in the waiting room, even though there are no tickets left available. Your turn's coming up.
I want to talk about it.
Yeah, that happens.
I still
to
have
you.
a very
Yeah.
salty taste from All In.
Yeah,
And
no.
you
so
have to
it's-
wonder how many of these ticket sales, by the way, because they did sell out really quick, and no doubt that a majority of that is for fans that want to be there.
Well.
But also, how many of them
Apparently this time
are going to like the internet?
Apparently this time it's worse.
Oh, that's bad.
Because All In there was like next to no aftermarket.
Right.
Whereas I saw a number that it was like anywhere from 20 to 25%
Okay, it wasn't that high. But
is already
From this show?
from Double or Nothing, like 20 to 25% is on an aftermarket site.
Which, by the
now
way-
again, that is not a verified number.
Yeah.
That's just something that I saw on Twitter.
I want to say this real quick, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. If you are one of those people that knows somebody is really looking forward to something, and you go out and buy a bunch of it, and then try to sell it at a higher cost online, not because you couldn't go, but just because you were scamming the tickets and reselling them, you are a scumfuck. And I don't like that.
Yeah, no.
Can I get on my fuck
Yes,
scalpers?
please do.
All right, so Pete Dunne Elite, which apparently is like, well, it's super rare at the moment to find. The first one hit eBay a couple weeks back. $250. That was the first one.
Which, in fairness, that was not a price set by the seller. That was bidding. People bid up to $250.
Right now, all right, so yes.
I'm
that
sure
is-
he
that
knew,
is fair.
though.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
Starting bids for the ones on right now are starting at $115.
Yeah. Just
We went through this with Amiibos. We went through this with all the new
NES
systems.
NES classics.
That being
Nintendo
said,
Wii's.
If any of our lovely fans
Oh,
find a Pete Dunne,
you don't even have to buy it for Dalton. Just
no,
let
buy
him
it
know.
for Dalton.
And
No,
he'll-
buy it for Dalton.
And he'll pay you back.
I will pay you the good shipping. I will pay you the figure,
Dalton with the good shipping.
and I'll get a signed 8x10 of the cast and have everybody sign it against their will.
What do I get?
My love and affection.
I got that.
Yeah,
I got too
that's-
much of that.
That's
Yours
that's
and yours isn't even the greatest.
the greatest.
The greatest.
The greatest.
Greatest love I've ever known.
Oh, you're a real piece of shit.
Anyway, so yeah, if you find that figure in the wild, get it for Dalton.
Yeah.
Because scalpers are shitty.
Yeah.
And
And also like half credit to Mattel or whoever is making this figure and made the decision that, hey, popular wrestler, we're going to make an action figure of you, but we're only going to send it to some of the stores.
yeah.
It's only going to go to Target, except fucking Big Nasty found one in Walmart.
Props to
Did he
people.
really?
Yeah.
How does that even work?
I was across the street from that Walmart that night, and I said, no, that Walmart never has shit. And then I get a text message from Nasty, like,
Hey, look
an
what I
hour
got.
and a half later, hey, I got this. I about quit life. About went to New York to get myself aborted.
Now, it's legal over there.
The look from Allie.
Up to your 50, from what I understand.
I mean, isn't being an anti-vaxxer just like super late term abortion?
It's natural order abortion.
I feel like
order.
Zane Lady is not going to say this is the best PW in a really long time. And yes, I did fix myself from saying it.
He
I hate you
absolutely
guys.
should say that's the best PW in a while. Nintendo does it right. Remember when they came out with the classics and people were scalping them, so then they put out more? And there was that guy that had like 20 of them that he couldn't sell. And he's like, I spent so much money on these, I can't sell them. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
So I am
Asshole.
on StubHub right now, and oh my god,
Bunch of
There's-
tickets.
There's so like I'm still like all right. So
You're just scrolling. That's lots of scrolling.
Does it say what the price is they're asking for over
it
what
went
it
from
is?
like 115 to right now I'm up at 250.
Do you know what they started at?
270. No, I don't know what the original start price was.
You have to figure it's definitely cheaper than that. And
Oh,
again,
yeah.
like you call yourself a wrestling fan. If you're a wrestling fan, you wouldn't rob another wrestling fan of a chance to see wrestling.
Right, there's a difference between realizing that like, oh, I can't go to this show,
Yeah,
or
I'll sell my ticket.
I bought 3 tickets because 2 of my friends were going. Oh, well, they just bailed. Like, there's a difference between that and what these people are doing, where they buy as many as possible just
Yeah,
so they can
just to resell.
to turn a profit.
And like I get it. And those who know me, you're listening right now, going, "Really, you hypocrite? Like you're criticizing?" I don't agree with that either. The person I work for and all the time,
I mean, he does super shitty things, but a specialty shop is different.
And he's
because
never done this.
He also doesn't go out of his way to buy something rare just so he can resell it.
yeah, and he never buys everything.
And if he does, he might like. There have been times like he might want to pick up like, oh, if you're going to pick something up for you, will you grab an extra one if there's one there?
right?
Yeah.
Like that's different than camping out and waiting and clearing an entire wave
to
of a
resell 'em.
shipment to
Yeah.
just
Floor
strictly
A,
to
which
reship.
is sorry for interrupting. Floor A, which I'm assuming is TV side. Now this has not been paid.
It's what they're asking for.
7,000.
Go.
Fuck you.
That's WrestleMania prices.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. This is like Indie Mania.
But like I'm seeing the other floor tickets and I'm looking at 3,500, 4,000.
God,
Oh yeah, no, go fuck
I
yourself.
wish I had that kind of money
I
to just be like,
no,
yeah.
if I had that much money that I was like, no, I can buy this scalper ticket. I have too much money.
I
like
hope-
that's an issue.
I hope all the scalpers don't sell them, and then they're stuck with these tickets. They probably paid 60, 70 for, but they're stuck with them.
Oh,
I
they'll
hope they
sell-
don't make a single dollar on it.
They will eventually sell them for 800 to 900. Like they will make their money.
yeah,
back.
they'll lower.
There is no wrestling show that is worth paying scalper prices. I never paid scalper $1 for a single amiibo, and I've gotten all of them that I wanted. You know, and I get it. This is an important thing, but like this is just shitty. God, it's
Oh, I have
shitty.
paid. It was a secondhand market price. I don't want to say scalper because I do buy from that guy a lot. I have paid secondhand market prices with a friend discount so many times, and overpaid for figures that I found 3 weeks later.
But is that secondhand? As in he bought them all to sell, or like he just sells them too?
He's bought them all to sell.
Moving on.
Yep.
Kota Ibushi. This is important to me. I saw this a couple days ago. Kota
Yeah.
Ibushi.
Also, well, just real quick because you skipped over the actual ticket event announcement.
Oh, I
show.
thought that was all lumped together. My bad.
No, that was today. Last week was the actual like announcement, the party that they did where they talked about the pre-sale stuff because this was all pre-sale.
Right.
Like,
That's
this
what I
was
meant
the
earlier.
pre-sale
That's what
event.
I meant earlier. Yeah.
So, bunch of big announcements coming out of AEW. Kenny Omega has officially signed. Apparently, that's a 4-year deal with AEW. He had to wait out his New Japan before they could make that announcement. AEW is officially going to be partnering with AAA, which is
That's pretty cool.
substantial. It does kind of lead. It gives itself some credit. It lends some credibility to the rumors that New Japan is especially not particularly thrilled with AEW being a thing because they have a working relationship with CMLL, which, if you know Mexican wrestling, those companies hate each other.
Right.
It's almost the Bloods and Crips.
Yeah, it's
Only with
not,
more stabbing.
It's not that far off. That's racist.
First off, you're talking to a blood, so you take that blue shit off your face. Damn it.
They also announced a bunch of signings. Nyla Rose, who is an independent wrestler. I also like that they didn't make a huge deal that she's the first transgendered woman to be signed to a major contract.
Okay, so here's where I asked the question in all seriousness because I've read that. So is he? It's a man that transgendered into a woman, or it's a woman into a man. So man that is now wrestling as it identifies as female.
He was born genetically as a male, and
Thank you.
identifies as a female.
Because I was curious about that.
Yeah, so it's cool that that she got signed. So she was signed. Kylie Ray, Smiling Kylie, that's awesome. We've seen her at Glory Pro.
They're gonna have to change her outfit though, because doesn't she wear like Pokemon and stuff?
I mean, inspired, but it's not like.
Well,
Pikachu's
one I saw
face.
was just straight up Pikachu.
I mean, it's Pikachu's face, but yeah, again, I don't know if that's necessarily.
Can you copyright eyes and nose and a mouth?
Right, it's a series of circles.
Well, okay, so
That's not in the Disney logo.
Yes,
I was
but
actually-
guess what? The Olympics can still sue.
I was curious. So, like when Finn Balor went to WWE, he had to stop using all that cool ass Venom inspired and stuff like that, even if it's inspired. So, could she? But AEW is definitely not on the same level as WWE in terms of broadcast and stuff like that, notoriety. Well, maybe not notoriety. Do you think she has a better chance of keeping that kind of gear than Finn Balor did going to WWE?
I mean, I think she has a better chance, but I mean, I do think it would not surprise me at all if they made her change it.
Also, they didn't change it to protect themselves. They changed it so they could make money off it.
That's the same thing to me.
Yeah, because they could sell it
here's
if
the
it
thing,
was.
like Rey Mysterio has come out in different.
Oh yeah, he's worn like the
Phantom.
and
It's one of those they just can't make action figures off of those attires.
But they did.
They did Flash one time, but
And
that was also
they did Phantom too, didn't they? The pink outfit.
that was WCW.
Didn't they make?
But
a
that's
big
still
deal
the
for that, though?
same.
I think they are.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy it.
I know.
Hopefully, I don't have to pay scalper.
But I mean, it makes sense. You don't want to take any chances with properties.
yeah,
you
like
know.
the demon thing was strictly so they could market it.
Right.
Whereas this is just like, we don't really want to get sued because like Keith Lee would wrestle on taped shows all the time with the Kingdom Hearts logo on them.
And I mean, even like
And Mew, like he also had Pokemon on his gear.
even Hulk Hogan, like had to license the name Hulk.
Oh yeah,
Through Marvel, they had an agreement for however long. So there's precedent.
Yeah.
brother.
So I mean,
They don't
he
pay it
he might have. Sure, she might have to change it. She may not. We don't know.
I'd
Other
call her
side.
instead of Kylie, call her like Kaylee, and have her come out like hugging and being really happy.
I mean, that kind of already is her.
I know.
Is
Until
her
she gets
thing.
angry mid-match.
Yeah, which is amazing.
She's like a little Jigglypuff. She goes puff, and then she gets really violent.
Kinda.
And then the other official signing, best friends,
Yeah,
Chucky T and Trent.
that's cool.
That makes me so happy.
I hear they're a real dick in life. Oh, they're a dick in real life. I was flipping around.
Dicks in real life.
Yeah.
And then we got a couple of matches announced. Some of it happened at the event. Some of it's happened since then. But Double or Nothing, Aja Kong will appear.
That's really cool.
That's super cool.
Aja Kong's awesome.
There was another name that I missed, and now I can't.
Is it
missing it.
Yuka?
It was Sakamori.
Let me look because
I
I know
don't
you're
remember.
talking about.
But the other matches announced, Omega Jericho will be happening at Double or Nothing. That'll be amazing because their New Japan match was amazing. Hangman Page and Pac was made official.
That's the championship.
Is that the championship match?
Pretty sure.
I knew that was the match that was announced. I didn't know if they announced that it was for the first.
Yuka Sakazaki.
Sakazaki.
Damn it.
I knew it started with I got the Saka part. They also announced SCU versus SEMA and two partners from OWE.
Oh, by the way, talking about Pac real quick, did you guys see Akira Tozawa? Did I say that right?
Tozawa.
Shit, I'm having long tracks of memory going. Akira Tozawa.
Mm-hmm.
He threw some shade at Neville in a backstage interview on SmackDown. He said, I think it was on Smackdown, it was main event or some pre-tape thing, or maybe it was 205 Live. He said, you don't take me seriously. The king of cruiserweights didn't take me seriously, and I took his title. It's just like, it's odd to hear them reference somebody that's not on the show anymore.
I feel like that's not necessarily throwing shade as much as like, no, he did beat Neville for the Cruiserweight Championship.
But it's always weird to me whenever they bring up past, because they never used to do that. Like, they would never, if a guy from WCW came to WWE or anything like, or if someone left and they beat somebody in another company, they never acknowledged it.
Yeah, but they've started doing that now. Like, they're acknowledging Impact and like some of those guys' history and impact.
Like, at this point, remember when Vince McMahon said, you as customers, you're tired of being insulted?
Right.
I think not acknowledging people's past is also insulting. But I get why they do it, but it is sort of insulting. Just say Sting hasn't wrestled in 10 years.
Yeah. They also, but like at the same time, they do constantly take pot shots at people who leave.
Oh yeah,
like that's what I thought you meant. Something had happened. That wasn't a pot shot. That was just like no. Look, I beat someone who was kind of unbeatable.
It was a reference.
Yeah,
it was a reference.
It wasn't like them saying, oh, like when they made Kofi say something about CM Punk.
But it was a shitty title run for Akira Tozawa.
Yeah,
was it like a couple days?
Yeah, it went nowhere. That was
anyway, I'm sorry for interrupting. Go
where
on
did
with
this
your bad
go?
stuff.
The OWE partners. And then the other match that was made official this week is Britt Baker versus Nyla Rose versus Kylie Ray. And Rose and Ray kind of had that standoff in the... So it's interesting to see Britt Baker kind of get inserted there. But I get that you kind of want to have one of your more established people for those who are not as familiar with Kylie Ray and Nyla Rose.
I guess it's not for the championship, Hangman.
I didn't think that they said...
Because I thought I saw something, but now that I'm looking...
Their whole build has been, like, their feud has been, like, trading about, like, who should be champion or who is going to be the first champion. But I guess they just haven't officially announced that, like, in AEW, because we don't have any champions in, championships.
There are no champions,
for AEW.
I have another old man Shannon question. So, what is the name of the transgender woman?
Nyla Rose.
Nyla Rose. And I'm being completely legitimate. I have an honest question. Aren't there rules against intergender wrestling in some states?
In certain states.
And the reason I ask that, and again, I have no problem with this, but I'm saying, could a government entity cause trouble for AEW by saying, no, she was born a man, therefore she cannot wrestle other women in this state?
I mean, potentially, but if they were going to do that, I think you'd have, like, that's not something that would happen, like, a week before the show. I think that if they knew that was a thing that they would either plan around that. I also feel like...
I was hoping it's not a thing.
I also feel like, I mean, yeah, I would like that there could be hey, in this professional wrestling world, you're not going to have those kind of rules just in general because that's ignorant. It is a performance. Hi, Missouri.
Hey.
Garbage. Garbage state. Still better than Illinois. Don't at me.
I mean, if at least it was Illinois, I wouldn't have to get damn blood work done. I could just get hit.
But,
right?
I also kind of feel like that Cody and the Bucks are the kind of people who, if that kind of like law were in place,
they wouldn't wrestle there.
Yeah, they wouldn't put on a show there. Because
did you see Brandy's tweets today? Mm-mm. Like, I gotta find it, but it's pretty much like
I'm always a fan of Shot of Brandy.
AEW is an all-inclusive company. We are accepting of everybody.
Right. Because wrestling is for everybody.
If you are not cool with that, then we are going to ask you nicely to leave.
Yeah. But right now they're letting men wrestle as women. If it keeps going, like,
stop this
damn
bit.
it, but I was going to mention like a goat.
I know you were. We're stopping this bit
All
because
right.
there are people who genuinely agree with that statement.
And to be fair,
you were mocking them.
I was mocking them. Okay, thank you.
But we don't even need to give that kind of conversation oxygen.
Thank you. I'm glad you clarified so I don't get a message tomorrow from somebody. Now, back to Kota Ibushi, who is one of my personal favorites. A lot of big rumors saying that he was going to sign with AEW when his contract was up, but no, Ibushi actually did announce that he has re-signed with New Japan Pro Wrestling.
And what's more surprising is apparently this is a multi-year deal.
Which is surprising and is not surprising at the same time. I'm more surprised than not.
I mean, I'm more surprised because it's Ibushi who has said multiple times that he doesn't want to ever be be limited to wrestle just in one place.
Right, and the AEW seemed like, and it wasn't made for him, obviously, but like it's such a good fit.
Especially with Kenny being there and the Bucks. And
yeah.
So
I did like Kenny's message to Ibushi though. He posted like, we'll meet again someday. Good luck in kanji, which is very cool. Because like it saddens me to now know officially we will not see Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega together again in the ring for years.
Yeah, for probably like 2-3 years. Which,
how sad is that?
I mean, but at the same time, like there's the whole Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho's profiles are still on the New Japan website, whereas like Bucks and Cody and Kushida, like those are all gone.
What do you think? It's just a matter of time at this point, though.
Kind of. I don't know. it's so new and things can change. Like once AEW becomes established, like the CEO or the chairman of someone very, very at the top, if not the top of Ring of Honor, was asked about if they would potentially work with AEW. And his answer was pretty much like, at this time, they've run one show. They have one more show planned. They don't have TV. Right now, it doesn't make financial sense to throw our hat in with this kind of unknown product. Once they establish themselves, and if it makes financial sense and sense for us as a company and for our fans, then we're not going to rule out working with anybody.
Right.
So, I mean, it's that thing where just because right now they've signed this contract doesn't mean that there won't be any sort of working relationship between AEW and New Japan down the line. Because right now, it kind of seems like a little bit of a pipe dream. You may have... Because Jericho has been open about his contract with AEW allows him to continue to work with New Japan for limited appearances. Kenny may have something similar. Ibushi's contract may allow him to be like a surprise thing at an AEW show. Because
it's a good promotion for AEW, it's a good promotion for New Japan whenever you cross paths like that. I think it could work out for everybody.
That also could very well be just like blind fanboyism of just hoping that, no, the Golden Lovers will reunite and everything will be fine and they'll just live together and then film that.
And they'll have babies and those babies will also be Golden Lovers. And then they'll...
No. That's not how... The family tree's got to split.
Well, not if you're Jeff Foxworthy.
You might be a redneck. Yeah.
If your gun rack has a gun rack, you might be a part of Dalton's family. All right.
Fuck you, because that's so accurate.
Here's something I'm excited about.
A little sneaky on you.
The WWE... I did not hear about this. WWE Studios to begin making exclusive films for Netflix. That's great, because WWE has made... Of all the movies they've made, I'm trying to think of all the ones I've liked.
See No Evil.
Nope. I haven't seen it. I've never seen it. Heard it was so bad, never watched it. Heard part 2 was better, though.
I don't think I've seen part 2.
Like, I legit heard part 2 was good.
See No Evil was a solid C.
Which is good. I mean, it's a low-budget horror film.
Yeah.
So, I actually did watch The Chaperone. I did. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen. It had Triple H, had Ariel Winter. I love Ariel Winter.
It's like, I feel like the WWE movies get a bad rap for what they are. Because no one is going to a WWE film.
Shit. I did like one, Oculus. I legitimately liked Oculus.
That was a WWE film.
Yeah, thought that was a good one. Yeah,
it was confusing, and my simple brain did not work. Like I couldn't follow it very well.
But she ate the glass.
Stop it. I lost my train of thought.
So sorry.
WWE films for the most part, like the ones that are starring like wrestlers. I don't think anyone working on that movie is thinking, yes, this is my magnum opus. This is the
Marine 8.
This is the pinnacle of fine art. What they're making
we finally got it right.
They're making B movies. They're making fun popcorn movies that you can bring your family to. They're essentially just making Hallmark movies, but like
for dudes.
But your husband will go to it. Like they know they're not making the greatest movie ever known.
The greatest movie.
Eat shit, Asa.
The greatest love I've ever known. So I'm looking at the list here, and it's surprising to me how many movies that WWE has actually been a part of. Like, holy shit, it goes back to 2002 with The Scorpion King. Although, to be fair, that was probably more of a just, you want The Rock? You got to give us a credit, bro. In fact, most of the first movies are Rock movies. The Rundown, Walking Tall, which were all good films.
Rundown was awesome.
See No Evil, The Marine, and then it gets into really bad ones like Knucklehead.
I don't remember Knucklehead.
That was Big Show.
Apparently, That's What I Am is supposed to be really good. Like, legitimately.
That was the one that had Randy Orton in it, right?
Yes.
But he was like
a racist or something, if I remember correctly.
No, wait a minute. Which one was that?
That's Who I Am. It was like an old...
It's like, yeah.
No, he was like the dad of the kid being bullied, I think.
No, but I thought he was the dad of the bully.
He was the dad of the bully.
Oh.
I also didn't see it.
WWE had a part in Inside Out, which is crazy.
Really?
The Pixar?
No, not the Pixar one. The one with Michael Rappaport and Parker Posey.
Oh,
where Triple H is like a cop. I'm sorry. My bad.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
God, I hate you.
They did No One Lives. That was actually pretty good. That had Tyrus in it. Yep. And I think that's it. Leprechaun Origins. We met the star of that. Hung out with him. That was cool. Oh, they did Jingle All the Way too.
Oh, with Santino Morel and Larry the Cable Guy?
Sons of bitches.
They did the most recent Leprechaun movie.
And
Didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
I mentioned that second ago.
Oh, okay, I missed that.
And that's pretty much it. The rest are just like Marine.
37.
Marine, yeah. And then Fighting With My Family is being released through them. So,
Which apparently has been good
Yeah.
if you pay attention to The Rock's Twitter feed.
well, did he have a part in it?
He's in the movie.
Apparently, we've seen the entirety of his parts in the movie, but they're doing that whole starring The Rock, starring Dwayne Johnson.
You know what that reminds me of, real quick?
like
Did you
he's
ever
on the poster more than like the people who are actually in it.
Did you ever see the movie Executive Decision?
No.
This is the thing me and Bob like to laugh about. So, top billing in that movie was Kurt Russell, Steven Seagal, and someone else, right?
Combined screen time of like 6 minutes.
Steven Seagal is in it for about 3 minutes. He dies almost immediately. He's on the poster. He's one of the top billed stars, and he dies so fast. And we were just like, okay. He earned that money. I mean, Steven Seagal. So what do you expect from Netflix? Like, Netflix is pumping out I keep spitting. They keep pumping out so many good films, just time after time after time after time are they going to continue that with WWE, or are we
The
now?
whole thing is Netflix also puts out a lot of B movies.
They do. They put out also a lot of terrible films.
Yes.
Time after time.
That's
after
what I
time.
thought. I thought that
So-
was the bit you were doing.
No, I was like, there are a bunch of Netflix
They-
movies
they-
I love.
They have a lot of good stuff, but they also have a lot of not so great stuff. So
For every Castlevania, there is a, I don't know. I actually don't know of any bad shows on there. Trailer Park Boys. Fight me, internet. You ever actually watch that show?
have you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I sat down and watched.
I mean, he tends to hate on things he hasn't
I sat down and watched 2 episodes because every time I get on, it would say suggestions, Trailer Park Boys. I'm like, you know what? Fine, let's see what this is all about. I watched the first 2 episodes.
That's the mentality you need to go into it with.
Do you like it?
No,
Okay.
no, I haven't seen it. I can't
I
say
was
that.
Krusty the Clown. I had the cigar, and I'm like, what the hell was that?
Is that the one with the guy that's got like the big thick glasses and
Yeah.
the dude that looks like he's Danny McBride, but
Yes.
like not?
Yeah, but apparently that show's super popular, and everyone's like, no, you just have to watch through it. And I'm like, I'm good.
That's
I'm good.
That's what I hate about show. Like anytime someone's like, no. Once you get past the first 2 seasons, season 3 is great.
It's when it starts, really.
And it's like, man, if you're not already like there, if you haven't grabbed me, then it's
Yeah.
the same. It's the same thing. Like I don't fault people who can't get through the first season of The Office or the first season of Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Or The Simpsons. First season of The Simpsons is rough. Or people that say, like, MMO, oh, no, you got to get to level, like, 50 before it really gets
Oh yeah,
good.
once you put like or like JRPG stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like no, once you're 10 hours in, then you're great. Like I ain't got that 10 hours to spare.
You have to hook me from
That's
the
so
beginning.
much time just scrolling on Reddit.
We'll see what happens if there will be a See No Evil 3. Why not?
He's a
Jacob
mayor now.
Shit. It's okay, the son of Jacob Goodnight. Maybe.
And I'm sorry, Jacob Goodnight is a dope ass horror movie name.
It really is. He's a good horror villain.
Yeah.
Kane already looked like a horror villain, so
I love that they were like they would do all the behind the scenes interview like it was the Shaggy meme but really happening. Like he wouldn't talk to people. He was terrifying. Like they just assumed like no, it was just this monster playing a monster.
I like that he goes home at night, looks in the mirror, and then just starts laughing like, I got him.
But then he just doesn't stop laughing.
No.
And then the fire burst.
He walks away, but his image is still laughing.
The
in
reflection's
the mirror.
still laughing.
Oh, Kane. All right, Ronda Rousey news. This is really cool. Ronda Rousey helping open a suicide prevention center, which is great news.
Also good news that we are sharing with people, but you say there's never any good news.
Did you just hear what I talked about with the Netflix?
Oh my god.
You think the 2 stories are in conjunction with each other?
Jesus.
Allie?
That's way darker than I think people are going to realize. Holy shit. I'm really mad because that story was on TMZ and I was and I opened it in my phone browser to like actually read
hell
the
was
details
that?
of it.
Is it my phone?
Oh, this is weird noise.
But then like when I finally go to my phone to look at it, it does that thing where whenever you go to a site, it just takes you to their homepage.
Yeah, I hate that.
I hate having to click on a TMZ link. I need someone to just copy and paste
I hate
this.
going to TMZ. They used to be like the worst website I've ever went to until Media Takeout, which is now
Okay.
the worst absolute like news journalism website, quote unquote, or Perez Hilton, people like that. Anyway, let's stop talking about them.
It's gonna the Dee Hirsch Suicide Prevention Center will open on February 22nd. That's in Los Angeles. And yeah, it's just anyone who knows like Ronda's history knows how important like suicide prevention is to her. Like
Anyone that knows us knows that suicide prevention is important to us. So this is a very, very cool story. I love when people do good things.
she's apparently worked with them before. She's worked with the service for years and was the recipient of the organization's Erasing the Stigma Leadership Award in 2014.
Nice.
I did not know that. So yeah,
Which like awesome.
Yeah, so TMZ has that full story. But yeah, that's super cool.
First time we've ever encouraged anyone to go to TMZ.
You're not wrong.
Weird day. Yeah, that's very, very cool. And congrats to Ronda Rousey. And again, like Ali said, it's always good when we have good news.
Yes.
So.
And following up on that good news, we got some more good news. NXT class coming up.
Oh shit, Dalton with the transition. Hit us. Hit us with it.
Well, ACH.
Yep.
Trevor Lee.
Yep.
Rachel
Ellering.
Ellering. And then Samuel Shaw. Yeah.
I'm looking at the notes.
Oh,
He has
also
them
looking
open
like,
on
the
his phone,
entire
and he's just
time.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited about that.
And
class.
there's a bunch of other names there. Those are the 4 that I immediately recognized. Of course, ACH is so talented, so charismatic, so much fun.
We saw him beat Trevor Lee in like 3 seconds at Pancakes and Pile Drivers this last year.
Yep.
And Rachel Ellerling, that's Paul Ellering's daughter, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Samuel Shaw, former TNA Impact wrestler. Hopefully they give him a better character than just, he was... are you familiar with his Impact work?
I've never heard of him before.
He was basically just like, wasn't he like almost like army military guy?
No, I think he might have started that way, but by the time he left, he was literally a stalker who was sitting in the corner of, I can't remember who, but one of the female wrestlers, like rooms drawing pictures of her.
Oh,
Yeah.
hell.
He is a very talented artist, I will mention, so that was cool. But yeah, it was, he was just like, he was the creepy little bastard, but like legitimately
Somebody
breaking laws.
He was like sketching in a book one day, and like Dixie Carter walked by and just like, got it.
So
Yeah.
I read this story last night about this serial killer that has just confessed to 90 murders. And if it turns out to be true, he will be the most prolific serial killer in the history of the United States. And the way they're trying to identify his victims is he has painted portraits of everyone he's murdered. And they're trying to identify him through the pictures.
I genuinely thought you were like going into a bit about like Dixie Carter. So it's like, I heard this story about this serial killer.
No.
Now you're going to be that.
No, legitimately, I was reading about it last night, and because they had a picture of all like kind of a collage of the different portraits he painted of his victims, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, but that's also super unreliable because like a lot of times serial killers will say they will try to claim murders that they did not do,
Right.
or
they're
will
trying to verify
They will
it now.
inflate their
Yeah.
numbers. They'll be like, "Oh well, I got 5 more bodies buried," but they don't. But they're hoping to lie to get a plea deal.
Oh no, he's
Or also they're sociopaths and
a sociopath because he's
try
in
to,
his
like-
80s at this point, I believe.
they're trying to
and
like
he's
pump
dying.
up their own numbers to make themselves seem more
would-
prolific because sociopaths are sociopaths.
I would watch the hell out of that documentary.
That's gonna be a good.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's
documentary.
season 4 of Criminal Minds.
So, probably. I read something somewhere that is obviously not true, but it reminded me of that. Someone was like, "What if Bob Ross was a serial killer and he was painting scenes of where he buried the bodies?"
There would not be
No
a
one-
happy mistake.
Well, then
No
he's
one-
got
no
great
one-
taste in murder spots.
No one noticed that like everyone had just like one little brown lump.
Yeah. Well, where's the grass
of
on
the
that
shallow-
one?
yeah.
And then he pulled the other side of the paintbrush, and it's a knife. And he starts jabbing.
Yeah.
Also-
stabbing isn't fun.
Also, Trevor Lee is, just to get back on topic, Trevor Lee is amazing too.
Trevor Lee is
Like,
really, really cool.
There's and
yeah.
like this looks like a promising class. Like they like looking at like the class photo.
Yeah.
Like there's one dude that just looks jacked. There was another indie tag team from Canada that apparently started around the same time as Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, but I can't remember their names off the top of my head. But
Is this the thing that like Kevin Huntsberger was out filming, like he was auditioning for?
no, that was Impact.
That was Impact,
Yeah.
all right, yeah. He should have got that.
No, this
too.
is just another training NXT just training class.
NXT should sign Kevin Huntsberger, so then I can take his position.
Do you want another podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
I pitched
I would
Jet-
add my 1, 2, 3 cents to the Podzilla network in a heartbeat.
But it's
I,
on the
uh,
internet network.
I pitched
Jittery monkey
Jesse the idea of you trying to coach me through Dark Souls.
as a
He said-
show.
Yeah, he said he laughed and he was like, I would watch that probably.
I would. You would hate it.
Oh no, yeah,
You would hate the existence.
But that would be
of
part of the fun. Anyway, no, this is a cool class. Maybe I'm biased, but like I think I might be most excited for ACH. I think he's just such untapped potential. Also, like
I like Rachel Ellering.
Anytime like nerdy people succeed and are gonna get to be nerdy like on a new platform, like I very much want him and Austin Creed to become best friends so they can just do like up,
Yeah.
up, down, down together forever.
I'm a longtime fan of Paul Ellering. So the fact that his daughter is in it, like, is extremely cool. Like, I think her dad has such a great mind for the business, and if he passed that on to her and she picks it up, I think she could be a major player in professional wrestling. But anybody really that gets signed to NXT could be a major player in professional wrestling. Like, they truly are.
Yeah, they have a really good eye for talent.
Yeah, I would
like,
say they're probably the greatest eye for talent that I've ever seen.
The greatest.
Greatest
Love I've ever known.
All right.
It's the only reason I'm here.
You're just here so you don't get fined.
To ruin Dalton's night. This is either going to be the best bit or people are going to hate it.
Yeah.
I am so excited for Hunter to be like, yeah, that really didn't work. And I'll just be like,
Hunter.
Fuck you, Hunter.
Hunter. Maybe Cody. This is exciting. Speaking of video
Cody
games.
would agree with
I
Hunter.
don't know this story at all. I'm going to take a stab at it after you announce it.
All right. Booker T is suing Activision over Black Ops 4. Please tell me it's about.
Is it a Spinneroonie emote?
No.
Oh, I was hoping it was G.I. Bro.
No, it is.
Fuck.
It's his likeness is. He's suing because of his. They are apparently using his likeness for the Prophet character.
What?
Well, he's about 3 games late.
Hold on. I
Because
got
Prophet's in the Call of Duty Black Ops 3.
He is.
Yes, but now.
I gotta look it up.
There's no way I can follow that up without being offensive. You're going to have to be honest.
It doesn't look like Booker T.
Can
All
somebody,
right, so this is.
somebody got a picture?
This is from the This is the write up from The Verge, by Addie Robertson. Professional wrestler Booker T. Huffman is suing games publisher Activision for allegedly putting his comic book character G.I. Bro in Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
Oh, okay. That
Huffman
makes more sense.
filed a copyright complaint today based on similarities between G.I. Bro and the Black Ops character David Prophet Wilkes. They could have drawn him any way they wanted, but they chose to steal Booker T's G.I. Bro, the complaint reads.
I'm looking at a comparison picture of G.I. Bro and Prophet, and I can kind of see it, but
But
I don't know,
if you
man.
say you kind of see it, it kind of sounds racist.
Well, to me, this reminds me of when Lindsay Lohan sued Rockstar.
Yeah.
Over Grand Theft
And
Auto.
lost.
This kind of
And
looks
lost.
like me.
Yeah, and to be fair, it did really kind of look like her. Because my first thought when I saw that character was like, well, that's Lindsay Lohan.
Really? Because I never thought
Really?
that.
I really did.
Oh, I didn't think that
I
looked
didn't
anything
see.
like her.
I didn't see Coke on her.
Shit.
There was a lot. There was another actress.
What, Allie?
The actual model that they based it off of, who they paid, is it's identical to her, and it's very clearly her. That said, they do have this. He does have this damning evidence on his side.
Oh, shit.
Again, from The Verge. While the two men sound almost nothing alike, at least a couple of Redditors have commented that Prophet looked like Booker T. So I mean, this thing's open and shut.
Can I ask you though, which editors?
Redditors.
Redditors were they white?
I don't know. I don't think you can tell by the screen name.
Was it JC Ice?
Oh,
No, there would have been other
if you
words
want,
on that.
If you want context on that, pre-show's
Pre-show.
only $1.
Only $1. And boy howdy, it was good. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Booker T doesn't have a leg to stand on in this. Plus, Activision really doesn't need this kind of mess in their life right now.
They had to lay off another 800 people.
Yeah, because of Booker T's ass.
He couldn't dig that.
He's not. It's not gonna happen.
No,
I don't think it's gonna
this
happen.
very much just kind of seems like it's a bummer to say this about Booker T, but this just seems like a
Booker
oh,
T
they're
thing.
making money.
I want money.
Yeah,
They're making money. I want
He has
money.
money.
yeah. He's got that wrestling school. He's a Hall of Famer. He's still on the network pre-shows.
Yeah.
But does he have enough yaks, like Stevie Ray would say?
I'm really proud of myself for not
I'm so
doing a
good.
spit
That's
take.
twice you almost spit in Allie's face. Drink after I said something.
You should be happy both times.
Yeah, he swallowed both times.
Both.
Dalton swallows.
Spitters or quitters.
Mandy?
Mandy!
All right, let's get to the... Plus, Black Ops 4 ain't even that good. I'm going to trade it in probably, especially if you're going to jump into Apex Legends.
See, no, I mean,
I think my Black Ops time might be over.
I've already traded mine in.
I still really enjoy Black Ops 4, and I'll jump into it every once in a while. But no, it's just for Blackout. I think I might like Apex Legends a little bit more than Blackout mode,
I need to try that so badly. All
just
right.
because it's a little bit faster paced. But
I like faster pace, and I like the classes. That's neither here nor there. That's another story. Let's talk about Raw and SmackDown. Raw, I think we should talk about one of the big things that happened real quick, unless you have something you absolutely want to talk about first.
I have a couple things. But go ahead.
That's what you take us on the list. Take
Your,
us through
well,
the
your
journey.
thing is probably on my list.
My thing is definitely on your thing. What's your thing?
My first one was the big events bullshit.
Oh, that wasn't it, but yeah, that's.
I don't like that. they go out of their way to tell us that there's no more general managers. Like
But Asa, there's a McMahon in every corner.
the fans are the general manager. And my problem is nope, now it's still just heel McMahon. It's still just heel Vince. Like, and it's the inconsistency. You have super proud dad Triple H talking to Seth Rollins to like have him light the fire, no pun intended, under him to like go after Brock Lesnar. But then you have him be that condescending, like, just apologize. But then they also, like, they apologized, so it wasn't, like, super overly heel. This just made Becky look weird and petty. So then she finally, like, after teasing the entire episode, she finally does apologize, even though she clearly doesn't mean it, only for Vince to be like, oh, actually, no, never mind. I'm going to undo this entire 3 hours of storytelling. And now it's Charlotte. And, like, yeah, we all know it's, the bad guy's doing the bad guy things. Yes, but when you tell us that they're not bad guys anymore, and when you base your entire show around this thing and then you just undo it,
well, I think
that's dumb.
Before Dalton, I'm going to let Dalton finish, but I think that what they could be going for is a Chaos Reigns. Vince isn't actually trying to heal Becky; he's trying to light a fire under her, and they're going to make it that triple threat match. But I'm wrong.
But to what end, though? Like
a bad one.
She's already got the fire.
She's already got the fans behind her. By the way, that thing we thought about last week, Fire and Desire.
Fire and Desire. Yes, I did see that.
The Balor Becky thing in the middle of the Elias made me happy, just for her to be like, and your abs are awesome. Like that, just like I was watching that at
finally someone says it.
Yeah, like it's taking forever. And
meanwhile, Tony Nese is sucking his thumb somewhere, going, "I've got abs."
And they're awesome too.
He had a really neat kind of vicious thing on 205 Live, like running knee strike that broke the barrier through someone's head. Yeah, it was pretty neat.
I know they're just setting up Becky versus Charlotte versus Ronda. Like that's
right, and yeah, clearly Becky's still going to be in the main event.
I think they're trying to pull some Stone. They really are trying to turn her into Stone Cold now, where she's fighting the Authority, because she's really the only one fighting the Authority at this point.
Someone on Twitter I saw made the prediction that like Stone Cold will be in her corner.
I mean, it'd be a good way to bring her back. Bring him back, and then we could set up Becky and Stone Cold versus Vince and Stephanie at Mania instead.
But yeah.
I get it.
So that happened. Revival are the new tag team champs.
That's what I was going to talk about. Suck at AEW. We take care of our guys
now.
This week.
I do like that they're. I know it's not new, but I do like that they won in their #FTR gear.
They've been doing that for
like I said, I know that's not.
They
new,
actually have FTR gear now.
Yeah, #FTR.
They've had it for a while too. But,
that's awesome.
Yeah. Which I mean, cool. Let's see how it goes.
It was a really, really
I heard
good
the match was phenomenal. I meant to go through and watch it, Joe, though, not just because it's a good match, because I want to see if this bullshit new tag team rules were enforced.
Stick this week?
You know, did they only get one save per encounter? Was there tease disqualification? Because apparently that was the thing. Someone pointed out to us after I went off on my rant on Monday about how Strowman got disqualified by the ref in the tag team match for doing something we've seen literally in every tag team match since tag team wrestling has been invented. Apparently they have introduced new rules to the tag team division.
Right.
But they kind of...
the Revival
explained on their Twitter, instead of, like I said, you could have just lied to our faces, had the Authority in the ring surrounded by the tag teams of both shows, and be like, all right, new focus on tag team wrestling, and that includes these changes.
Or you can even put a graphic up.
Yeah, now, like, you have to use the tag rope. Now you can only get, you get one save per match.
Right.
But... no, it's the Revival have to kind of break it down. And maybe these aren't even new rules. Maybe these were the rules that were supposed to be in place for years now.
Or maybe the Revival was trolling somebody.
Also that.
Is what I'm thinking.
Because it was also like Corey Graves, it was a joke on the show. That's what I was trying to say. Mm-hmm. If Corey Graves, they were talking, was like, no, they went on a social media rant of how tag team wrestling should be. And these are the rules that should be in place. And like they're the only pure tag team in the WWE.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And that's kind of how they were playing it.
I hate wrestling so much.
Well, wrestling.
But yeah, so Revival are the new tag champs until Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins beat them.
Yes.
Well, what a send off to AEW.
Yeah.
Give me more.
The only
or what will actually happen is Zack and Kurt will just lose. All this build up, and they'll build them up for the pay-per-view.
It's not going to happen.
And they'll lose.
They're going to win.
And they'll bring out their toys, and the Revival will shove the toys up their asses.
I'm not entirely against that.
I am going to have to mute Zack Ryder on Twitter pretty soon because I'm getting real sick of him retweeting the 30 people they call every episode of their podcast. Like, hey, thanks for calling me. I'm sorry I couldn't answer. Like, I don't care. I
only have it on Instagram.
I might have to switch to that.
Yeah.
But then the only other thing that I have from Raw that was infuriating, I like that they're going back to, because this is the one thing that I really liked about heel Elias that they kind of stopped doing, is now he's just constantly being interrupted by by random stuff
3 times.
However, what I'm not super excited about for Elias is, so the big follow-up to him being attacked from behind by Road Dogg and Jeff Jarrett is now he's feuding with Lucha House Party.
Who was feuding with Lucha House Party before this? Was it
The
Revival, right?
Yeah.
1, you got 3 guys who are so talented in Lucha House Party that you're doing dick with. 2, Elias was the hottest vase you had going, you did dick with. 3, you started an angle with Elias and a legend, Jeff Jarrett, you did dick with. What did Elias do to your family? Like, did he run over your dog and then sing a song about it?
About how it was
like
the
to
dog's
hear
fault?
it go? Yeah.
I don't know. It's baffling. I don't get what they're gonna do.
I feel like Elias shows up for Raw every week now and just he looks in the mirror with his guitar and goes,
drift away. Just
drift away.
Through the background again. Just so that's all those were my big takeaways from Raw, which is really disappointing considering that this is the home. This was the go home show for Elimination Chamber. We also did get Sasha and Bayley lost their match, where they took the loss in the triple threat match. So they will have to start the Elimination Chamber.
I'm surprised that you are not more upset about Dean Ambrose.
It's baffling. I don't understand it, but at this point because are you talking about him coming out and like telling Seth Rollins that he supports him now?
Yeah.
Or that he then got a roll-up victory on EC3 who they're still not letting talk?
That, especially, I forgot about that part, but more so just the slay the beast. And it's like, okay, you're literally unraveling how much storytelling you just did for no reason. Like, for literally nothing. And apparently, I read, this is dirt sheet, so take it for what it's worth, but that he was supposed to say more than that. He was supposed to go into the history of the Shield. Like, he was supposed to cut a big promo about it, kind of explaining why. Mm-hmm. And instead, he just flat out said, slay the beast. And, like, that's not great storytelling.
I mean, on the one hand,
that would be like if Darth Vader just came, like, if Vader just went to Luke after, like, dicking him over multiple times, was like, hey, kill the Emperor. Why?
I mean, but on the other hand, like, weird, mysterious Ambrose is at least kind of, like, now there's a hook.
Yeah.
Like, instead of him just spelling it out for everybody, like, right then, now, I mean, you have there is maybe that intrigue. If they decide, if that's true, and, like, they're not going to let him just, like, continue that.
Well, I mean, he beat EC3.
Yeah.
The new guy coming in versus the guy that is apparently leaving.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm assuming Elimination Chamber pre-show match. But
was Raw the one where the referee reversed the decision? Or was that SmackDown?
I don't know which one you're talking about.
Let me look it up real quick. There was a match where the referee came out and, like, told the other referee, no, this happened. And,
that was Raw.
Was that Raw?
Which
match
match
it was?
Oh, God, it was a foot on the rope, though.
I'm looking it up.
Lashley, Balor, which then turned into a 6-man.
Oh, yeah, because it was it was Balor, Angle, and Strowman against Lashley, McIntyre, and Corbin.
Yup.
That's just the tread water.
Okay, it was the tag match itself. It wasn't the match leading up to it. It was the
my
match.
bad.
Okay.
My bad.
Yeah. So ref calls it. Another ref comes out to tell the first that Finn's foot was on the ropes, and they restarted the match. I can't tell you how much I hate that shit when this week ref comes out to say, hey, something went wrong, as opposed to every other week.
Next week, referee's decision is final.
Yeah. Like, god damn, it's like the tag thing. Like, be consistent.
Yeah.
Like, you're insulting our intelligence, you old bastard.
But yeah, so like that's just the treading water feud that it's like, wow, you have Finn Balor, Bobby Lashley, Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, and honestly, like, I know I'm the person who likes Baron Corbin the most out of everybody in our friend group, but like, you have and Kurt Angle. You have these 6 names that easily, any one of them, could be headlining your show consistently. And yeah, I stand by that with Baron Corbin.
I'm resisting the urge to make jokes.
No, I know.
It's fine.
I'm aware. I
fine.
get it. Again, I understand that I am in the minority of
one of those
people.
things is not like the other.
And I would put him at the bottom of the tier.
Wait, was Leo Rush in there too?
No.
Then he can.
He was apparently that's going to be. It's a handicap match though for the Intercontinental Championship.
Mm-hmm. Lashley and Leo versus Finn. So who would sign that?
So then they could just redo what they did with how Rude and Gable beat AOP for the tag belts, where they pinned Drake Maverick. Mm-hmm. You can just redo that story because it hasn't been It's only been weeks since they've done it. Ugh.
Everything is
But
not
yeah,
awesome.
but this is just like treading water, and it's annoying. SmackDown had other stuff.
SmackDown I heard was better because SmackDown had that incredible gauntlet match.
Yes, but before we get to that, we also had
Fire and Desire versus
Fire and Desire against the Iconics against Carmella and Naomi.
They have a name now though. It's like something Glow or Glow something.
Is it
Fabulous
something-
Glow.
Maybe Fabulous Glow,
I
something
don't
like
know.
that. Which actually that match was pretty cool because that's one of the first times the heels did something that was smart. Like the Iconics stayed out of the match.
Right.
There was no reason for them to risk taking the pin.
Right, so that they could, because whoever lost the match, this wasn't whoever wins the match gets the
Oh, Dalton's got a
last
point there.
spot.
What's up?
Becky and Sasha started their match Monday night like that, where Bailey, or did I say Becky?
You did.
Yeah.
I meant Bailey and Sasha. Bailey, it was either Bailey or Sasha smacked Nia Jax like in the face to start the match, and then tagged in Liv Morgan, and then got the hell out of there.
Yeah.
And like that's how they started it.
It's,
yeah, 'cause this is
when I
one of
read it
those,
was
like-
a retread, but this,
Yeah.
but it actually worked for the Iconics.
Right. So this is also kind of like two birds, one stone, because Naomi got a win over Mandy Rose finally.
Yeah.
So Fire and Desire against the Hug and Boss Connection.
Boston Hug connection.
Boston Hug Connection to start the Elimination Chamber match.
Ringside Collectibles did a Valentine's Day sale, and they always put like a couple figures up for the thing. Figures this time, Jimmy Uso and Mandy Rose. To which Naomi screenshotted it and put y'all petty for this.
That is pretty funny though.
Yeah.
By the way, have you seen Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville's like YouTube show?
Mm-mm.
It's called like I gotta look at it's like Donut Deville or something like that.
Oh yeah, because they review donuts.
They review donuts.
Yeah, they
It's-
have a donut review show.
We watched part of it today, and I was like, again, whenever you see these guys out of character and they're just being themselves, they're so likable.
Yeah.
most
Also
part.
on SmackDown, we got
I had Krispy Kreme today.
we got a full long segment about Becky Lynch and Charlotte for the Raw Women's Championship. Asuka did not appear once, the SmackDown Women's Champion.
I'm about to say, well, she's not Raw champion.
Yeah, so that was I don't dig that. And then there was the gauntlet match to determine who would enter last in the men's elimination chamber match for the WWE Championship. We also got confirmation that because of legit injuries, Mustafa Ali is no longer in the match, and he's going to be replaced by Kofi Kingston, who lasted a full hour getting pinfalls over
He beat everybody.
Daniel Bryan, not AJ Styles, he was the one person he lost. Daniel Bryan, Samoa Joe, and Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
And then eventually tapped out to AJ Styles, who then immediately lost to Randy Orton.
Yeah.
So Orton will be last in the chamber.
Boy, you talk about a career performance and talk about putting someone over. This match did so much for Kofi Kingston that this is the perfect. I mean, they won't, but you talk about a time to capitalize. Kofi Kingston wins the title on Sunday. That would be an incredible moment after an incredible showing. They won't.
No,
but-
I mean, and it's also that thing where like Big E, I think, said it best, where it's like that moment where you realize you are reminded that the dude you've just been joking around with for the last 4 years is a legitimate legend and one of like the most talented people that WWE has ever had.
yeah.
I agree with you. I think this would. Part of me also wonders if they changed anything.
If that was supposed to be Mustafa
If that was
Ali.
supposed to be Mustafa Ali getting that exact same like credibility booster, because I think it would have done more for him
Yeah.
than Kofi. Because this also at the same time just feels like, hey, no, he's not just a last minute replacement. Look, Kofi important
You're right.
until he loses in the Elimination Chamber and then is back
Goes back
with,
to
like,
New Day. 'Cause
silliness of New Day.
Yeah, he may go like after. It definitely, if he was like not supposed to win it, it wasn't good enough to where he was going to win it.
Right.
Like it was good enough. It was good enough to where he will be in the final two.
I could see that. And honestly, like, I do think that was a good enough job of him. Like, I don't think anyone would be like as surprised after Tuesday. I think people would be less surprised that he would like
Oh, if it just came
less
out of nowhere.
believable. Yeah. Than if
Yeah.
they would, if he would have just lost after beating like Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
Like, I think that did a good job of reestablishing Kofi because he needed it, because the New Day has been so jokey and, you know.
Pancakes and
Yeah, exactly.
pile
It's
drivers.
easy to forget how talented
No.
all three of them are. But yeah, I'm going to let myself believe.
Don't.
I
Asa,
know.
no.
I know. But here's the thing. The SmackDown the WWE Championship doesn't have a clear WrestleMania match yet.
It's true.
The closest thing that we would have gotten that it feels like they might be building to is Daniel Bryan and Mustafa Ali. because he's kind of come out of nowhere and really been treated very, very well. I don't think that was the match. I don't think that's the match they're going towards.
It's AJ Styles,
but it
probably.
could be. But and it could be AJ Styles. But at the same time, they've done that so many times already.
Right.
Do you
Actually,
go back?
We'll save it for that because we're gonna talk about Elimination Chamber,
Yeah.
who we think's gonna win, because I have a pick for that.
But I genuinely think that you could have, if they decide to go with it. Like again, I don't think that if they do, this is going to be like a last minute change. But they could do Kofi. It's down to the final two. It's Daniel Bryan and Kofi. Shenanigans happens that Daniel Bryan cheats to beat Kofi, and that could easily be your feud through Fastlane and into Mania.
So do you have
Especially if
Kofi win the title now?
I would have Kofi win the title at Mania.
It would be the feel good moment.
Yeah,
It would be up there with Jarek or with Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero.
I also feel like, which I
Bryan.
mean, again, I know it's not going to happen. I am fully aware that for whatever reason, they are not going to put the WWE Championship on Kofi Kingston, which is bullshit. Like, there's no reason he shouldn't have already been champion or couldn't still be champion. Again, back to Big E on Twitter. Give the man his damn flowers while he can still enjoy them.
Yeah. I always thought, and you're going to hate me for saying this because I don't believe it, but when I thought of Kofi Kingston, I always thought the reason they didn't push him was because he was too skinny.
I mean...
And I say that in all honesty. I really do think they look at him and go, you're too skinny. But, like guys like Edge was pretty lanky, and he had a good title run. But am I wrong? Is Kofi not as skinny as I remember?
No, I'm confused on how skinny you think Edge is.
Honestly, depending on when you ask me, because...
98 Edge was kind of lanky, but like Rated R Superstar, he was pretty filled at that point.
When he started with like the Brood, he was pretty like just tall and thin.
I mean, but he was also like 21.
Yeah.
We were all tall and thin at 21 except me. I was tall. I've never been thin.
Mother, you know what I meant.
Yes.
But
you lost it. Let's go to Elimination Chamber.
Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, I got it here. You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
All right. Are you on Wikipedia?
No, I am on CBS.
You know what else is on CBS?
Cruiserweight Championship, Buddy Murphy versus Akira Tozawa.
Young Sheldon.
Going to be another just great cruiserweight match that they're going to stick on the pre-show.
Yep. With probably same champion winning,
Mm-hmm.
But it will be really, really good.
Yeah. Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin. Okay. I don't know what...
I mean, I guess they need a minute and a
Wait,
half
Strowman versus Corbin
at Elimination
So
Chamber.
they have to fill a commercial break.
Probably.
Which is the same
I mean,
Joe
to be
Dalton
fair,
made,
that's the
but I just reworked it.
that is an ongoing feud. Like, that's been going for a while, and they have not had a one-on-one match.
That's true.
This probably is going to end in another cluster, but
yeah,
we'll see. SmackDown Tag Team Championship: The Miz and Shane McMahon, the greatest tag team in the world.
with the greatest,
Greatest love I've ever known.
Go fuck yourselves.
We might have one more in this.
Well,
later.
it's funny because that's actually their name. That's what they call themselves.
Mike and Maria.
Yeah, they call themselves Mike and Maria. It's weird. It's the Miz and Shane versus the Usos. They had an interesting segment on SmackDown, but again, this just kind of feels like they're treading water until Shane and or Miz turns on Miz and or Shane.
Right. When Miz finally turns on Miz, I'm going to be so happy.
It's gonna be great.
And then Shane tries to stop him.
You know what? That was way more interesting than
Yeah.
anything else they're gonna do.
Who do you think wins this?
Shane and Miz.
You think the Usos?
Either the Usos win it and this starts that tension to build towards a Miz Shane WrestleMania match, or they
That's a
retain.
strange match.
That is a strange match, but I mean, I don't know.
So I'm looking at, and I know this is really random, but because we just kind of like said it's another one on the kickoff shows, and then my brain went to wondering how many people watched the kickoff shows. So I went to YouTube because that's where they air them
Right.
live. Now this isn't saying that it's obviously not all of these people watched the full 2-hour kickoff show, but 6.5 million.
That also doesn't mean that they didn't watch it after the fact.
But what I'm saying is that is a lot of eyes looking at.
Assuming that they're watching that.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying, even half of the people watched that match. That's still 3.25.
Didn't the halftime Heat match do really well too?
After the fact.
Really?
Apparently live it did not do I don't know what they were expecting or what they were. I don't know if they're happy with it, but apparently the numbers for it were super low at the time, but it has since become one of the top viewed things
the
from
top
NXT.
viewed, yeah.
On YouTube.
Where are we at? A little bit over 500,000 on halftime Heat.
For the WWE one?
On the WWE YouTube channel.
That is significantly less than I thought it was going to be.
I'm literally looking at it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That sounds weird.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I'm
So
like,
maybe it
WWE's
just bombed.
page. Yeah.
I
mean, 500,000 people watching something. I wouldn't say.
Compared to the millions and stuff like
Millions.
it's not even a news story anymore when a segment from Raw gets 1 million.
Especially if it involves one of the women like Mandy Rose getting half naked.
Yeah. So that's the tag match. The Raw Women's Championship match. You wouldn't know it by watching the product, but it's actually going to be Ronda Rousey defending against Ruby Riott.
Her on Twitter's been fun recently.
Yeah, because like she actually probably gets to say things that she believes. Like, hey, my match was announced on Twitter, and they're all just talking about who Ronda's going to wrestle at WrestleMania.
I did not know until Monday that Ruby Riott was wrestling Ronda Rousey.
Same.
How
Yeah.
sad is that?
Yeah, because and even then it was in passing because can't wait to talk about who Ronda's going to defend her championship against at WrestleMania.
And then poor Ruby
Weeks.
Riott has to go on Twitter and other places that aren't like Raw,
Right.
and talk about like, no, I'm going to win the title. They're talking about that, and you feel so bad for her because everyone's going, baby,
Sure.
you're not.
That said, if like she left with the Raw Women's Championship and Morgan and Logan left with the Women's Championship, the Tag Team Championship, that'd be
Riot Squad's finally important.
yeah.
Do you think they should repackage Liv Morgan at this point and maybe like, I don't know, what's hot right now? Well, Kingdom Hearts just come out. Maybe make her like a pirate, like Captain Morgan.
I get it.
don't pull anything on that stretch, baby.
I'm so sorry. I think I tore a ligament.
The ligament. Oh, my phone.
Doctor said
phone locked up.
doctors won't clear me for 8 months, but I might be on the show on Sunday.
Intercontinental Championship, Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush versus Finn Balor. So we talked about that already. The first ever women's tag team champion will be determined in an elimination chamber match. Nia Jax and Tamina against the Riot Squad against Fire and Desire, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville versus the Iconics versus Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Naomi and Carmella. With
by the way,
Sasha Banks and Bayley and Fire and Desire starting the match.
Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose have become two of my favorites in wrestling. Like I already liked Mandy Rose because I always like I'm a hot-blooded American. I like a cold beer in sports. When I see
You don't like either of those things.
I know. When I see Mandy Rose, I go like, that is an extremely attractive woman, and she's got personality. She's going to be a megastar. And Sonya Deville was just like, she's there too with Mandy, but not like
I'm
look. No,
gonna kick you.
I'm talking about just like care. Like who do they put the big emphasis on? Is on Mandy. She's the one with the story against Naomi. She's the one that they're like, oh, she's hot as fire. But Sonya Deville is so good, and we've all said that forever. But them as a duo, like even though I know they were in what was Paige's group, the
Absolution.
Scissors, yeah, Absolution. Like they were good then, but they're so good
it die.
now. Paige leaving, I thought was going to be the end of them, but they stuck it out, and now I think they're a legitimate tag team.
And I am still like, if I could get just in a room with anyone, I would be like, okay, so like, but for real, Riot Squad and Absolution debuting in the same week. What was the end goal? What was supposed to happen?
Like that wasn't
didn't.
accidental, right?
Yeah.
There's no way that was accidental.
I don't get it.
Because they even had the similar thing with like the blonde one and the same kind of attacks.
Well, it was the
the
whole
the rugged brawler striker,
Yeah.
the super hot blonde, and then the leader, the established punk leader.
yeah.
Holy shit, you just blew my mind.
It
Yeah.
was the whole like, let me see your homework.
Yeah.
I'll change it
Just
just
change
enough.
it enough so they can't tell. And then the WWE Championship will be defended
But
in
only
a.
one of them likes
Actually, I just realized Seth Rollins does not have a match. Rollins, McIntyre, Ambrose, none of them have a match.
I mean, they're all kind of like type
Holy
of
shit.
storylines that don't matter right now.
Yeah,
For what this
which
is.
I mean, we know like Lesnar wasn't going to be there, but still,
You think they might turn
They usually give like
Strowman versus Corbin into a tag match?
I mean, they have to. I feel like Strowman and
How do you
Rollins
leave
against
Seth Rollins off the show?
who's going to be in your main event for Mania.
It's like sometimes I think that ship over there is steering directly into disaster.
I would say an iceberg, but those are all going away. WWE Championship
I'm
match.
sorry, if climate change is so bad, why was it snowing?
Why was
last
it
week?
cold in February? Yeah,
Stupid
now that it's,
idiot.
Now that it's 64 days in a row, I ain't hearing shit from you all. Science is real. Eat the rich.
Jesus was a dinosaur.
Daniel Bryan
Haven't
was-
you read the Bible?
Daniel Bryan was right. Daniel Bryan defends against AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Samoa Joe, Jeff Hardy, and Kofi Kingston in the Elimination Chamber. Fun fact, if Daniel Bryan wins this, he will be the only person to successfully defend the WWE Championship and the World Heavyweight Championship inside of an Elimination Chamber.
So, 2 questions. 1, the women's tag match. Who do you think's going to win? I want a roundtable discussion on this. I just want to know what everybody's picking. Allie, let's start with you. As the only one here that is sensible.
Who's in the match again?
Son of a bitch.
The
I'm
Iconics.
sorry.
Just say Sasha and
Sasha and
Bayley.
Bayley, the Iconics, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, Naomi and Carmella, Nia Jax and Tamina, and Riot Squad.
Bailey and Sasha.
There you go. Asa.
Either Bayley and Sasha wins, or we're finally getting the Sasha turns on Bayley moment here, and then Iconics win.
Again.
Dalton.
Iconics.
I'm going to say Tamina and Nia. Because how do you stop them? They're so powerful.
No, this isn't the Royal Rumble.
I'm still like, I feel like Vince loves flipping off the crowd. Like, he loves flipping off the smarks.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no doubt that Tia and Tamina,
Tia.
Nia and Tamina are going to win the titles. And then, like, 2 weeks later, Sasha and Bayley are going to win them back. Maybe even on Raw the next night. But for that night only, they'll get flipped off. Now, for the men's Elimination Rumble Championship, who do you think is going to win that? Because my pick is Randy Orton.
Daniel Bryan.
I think Randy Orton's going to win again because Vince loves to flip me off.
See, but again, like, he doesn't have, like, this is why I think Daniel Bryan's going to win, is because there isn't an established, like, there is not a clear-cut WWE Championship at WrestleMania, which I very much enjoy. Like, I love the fact that we don't know where this is going. So I think Daniel Bryan wins so that because I think they'll wait until Mania to take it off of him, especially because they just gave him that custom,
The belt?
Yeah, the hamster shavings.
I for whatever reason, I think Randy Orton's going to win, and it's either going to set up Orton versus Bryan, but
Is he gonna
probably
smoke
not.
the belt?
I think Orton versus Styles for some reason at Mania.
I mean, that's not a bad call.
I just
We
feel
haven't gotten that. That would be a fresh matchup too.
And I think Daniel Bryan will probably feud with he'll either have a match with Kofi or he'll have a match with even like maybe not Samoa Joe because he's a bad guy. Probably Kofi.
I mean, honestly, like, because I would love to see, because you have, if they're not doing anything with Harper, just go ahead and put him back with Rowan
He's supposed to be back
and
soon.
put the 3 of them against the New Day, but Kofi gets you have Big E and Xavier against the Recycle Bros, and then you let Kofi go for the WWE Championship. Give me that. It's not that hard. Who do you think's winning?
Kofi.
I mean, that's who I want to win.
Why do you kiss up to him? He doesn't respect you.
No,
I don't.
This is literally
And
something.
also, you're clearly wrong. So
This was, and I
genuinely think Finn Balor's going to beat Brock Lesnar.
that was Jason's call.
God of War is the best.
I'm
game.
sorry. So is it also Jason's call that Kofi? You're on the show. Give us your opinion, you coward.
I think Kofi's gonna win.
Give us a better opinion, you coward.
Fuck you, Asa. That's my opinion.
No one cares.
Well,
Who
I
do you
mean
think's gonna win?
that's a more probable thing than Kofi winning. You fucking Asa.
No,
So
no.
you know,
I can
spit
do
that
better.
water out at some point.
No, there's a 1 in 6 chance that Kofi will win.
Numbers don't lie.
and they spell disaster for your penis.
I say Daniel Bryan.
She gets it.
Yeah, she does. She saw a thumbnail. She's basing it on that.
We had like an hour and a half already.
Yeah, we're way past. All right, we're going to get out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Thursday's show. Maybe. I might not be there at this point. I'll see how I feel tomorrow because I ain't feeling great. Until then, until after dark, Asa, hit us with those links.
Facebook.com/Podzilla1985. Give us a like. Talk about things. Who do you think's going to win Elimination Chamber?
Send us
Kofi.
Freddy Freaker stuff.
Be like Derek and send us Freddy Freaker stuff. Or send us good things and not nightmare-inducing old defunct
It's the freak phone.
phone number
But
bits.
they can't tell us what's hot and what's not.
I don't.
What's Kevin?
Then what the hell was
Shit.
hotornot.com for?
This is before the internet. Freddy Freaker was on the cusp of technology.
I'm sorry.
He can move his arms
what does-
2 ways.
What does the internet plug into?
Freddy Freaker?
Phone line.
Oh.
lawyered. I don't know. Facebook.com/Podzilla1985. Twitter.com/Podzilla1985. I work really hard to put out 3 tweets a week. Sometimes I remember it's there.
And that's like
Give us a follow.
it's 3 times more than we ever did before.
It is. I am.
Congratulations.
This is the hardest I've worked at anything in my life.
You said the hardest?
.com/Podzilla1985. Patreon. No, because it's only the greatest. You can't corrupt the bit.
Greatest. all right.
You're ruining it for me. Facebook.com/Podzilla1985, Twitter.com/Podzilla1985, Patreon.com/Podzilla1985. For $1, you get every pre-show, even if you don't listen to, like, if for whatever reason, God bless you, you only listen to PWU, you still get every pre-show of every other show that we do. And
Some of our best work.
yeah,
honestly.
it legitimately, I almost feel bad.
Yeah.
Because
Whenever you get the mics on and we know we're recording for the big audience, it changes.
It does, because otherwise, because everything else we just kind of bullshit about. Like, we talked a lot about, like, Activision and, like, what happened there, and also just other stuff. But yeah, patreon.com/Podzilla1985.com and Podzilla1985.com for go back and listen to any of the old episodes. Also, if you go to the Facebook or my page or my Twitter, I still have that link copied for the kind of funny up and coming best friend thing. So to anyone who has already submitted my name to that, I can't tell you how much it means to me.
Can you submit more than one?
Yeah, you can submit more than one, but at the same time, like, I don't want to just like spam them.
Because that looks bad too.
Yeah, because that looks bad. But if I can get like a bunch of, unique
Legit,
IPs, legit recommendations from people saying different things, then I think that goes a lot farther than just sheer number. Because I could pay $50
and have some
to have like a bunch of like people just write in and copy paste
You
script.
could go to Facebook and get the foreigners to
go to wish.com and stuff
to promote your victory like a certain someone did.
Allegedly. And I still don't believe that happened.
He's a saint.
But yeah, so if you have done that, I greatly appreciate it. Like I said, I do not expect to win. It's just that thing. If my name gets recognized or Podzilla gets recognized, it could eventually lead to something farther down the road, like stuff like that. So that's really cool. And if you haven't had a chance to do it yet, but you're wanting to, they have not closed the nomination pool yet, so you still have time to do that. Every single comment helps, and again, I can't tell you how much it means. Also, I'm just going to spitball this because if I feel like if I say it out loud, I'm more likely to actually pursue it.
Uh-oh.
Since we are doing commentary live for CCW, that kind of frees up Mondays.
It's true.
So I'm gauging interest if anyone would be at all interested if I started streaming again.
Yes.
Like if I started doing it like regularly, like every Monday night for like an hour or two, just like something random on Xbox.
I would watch that and I would enjoy it.
It would have to be on Xbox because that's the only thing that I...
Now, you're going to do that here or at home?
I would probably do it at home.
Well,
Damn.
balls.
Yeah, so we can't hang out with you.
I would probably do it at home.
Featuring the Podzilla gang.
No, we can come to your house.
Because like we have this like the set because I have the Kinect and the Kinect adapter to plug into an Xbox One.
Here.
Which apparently Jesse says that Kinect adapter is now like super expensive.
It was, but the price is going down now because they're releasing third-party ones.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Which is good because I know
Yeah.
so many people that look for it they can't.
Yeah.
I have some knowledge of the gaming industry.
A little bit. But yeah, so
Dwarfs.
I'm kind of like half gauging because it's like it's something that, but I at the same time like I don't really have anything that I could stream that people would actually watch because I am terrible at Apex Legends. Like that's a huge streaming thing right now, but I'm so terrible at it that
Stream something no one else streams.
See, and that's the thing is it's like, but I also don't know what that would be because everything else that I play is like the only thing I've been playing recently is Assassin's Creed Odyssey and the 8-bit Bloodstained thing.
Oh, Circle of the Moon?
Yes, because that was
Great game.
That was either free. That's either on
It's
Game
free.
Pass now or it's free for Games with Gold.
Games with Gold, yeah.
So
Fantastic
I
game, too.
downloaded it and I've been
Gives you
playing
that Castlevania feel. Yeah.
But I'm also just bad at games, so it would be me more just like hanging out with people.
That's why it's funny. That's why you need us. You need our personalities there. Dalton and I.
Oh, so I'm not strong enough to do it on my own?
Oh, wow.
Did Ali say no?
No, I said, oh, wow.
Ali said, oh,
I
no.
said, oh, wow.
Did you hear that?
I said,
Wow.
oh, wow.
It's the greatest betrayal I've ever
I
heard.
mean, either way.
Wow.
Greatest?
Greatest.
No, I'm mad at you. I'll fuck you.